You have no idea that right now your money is slipping through your fingers because of 7 myths we were forced to believe. Watch until the end to learn how to break free from this trap. Subscribe to the channel and comment which of these myths you hear most often. Your financial freedom starts here. Someone once lied to you about money, and you believed them. Not because they wanted to trick you, but because they sincerely believed it themselves. It might have been parents living in a completely different era, or teachers who never actually held significant capital themselves. Even the experts on TV are often interested in keeping you scared and confused rather than wealthy. These myths are passed down like family heirlooms, but instead of building wealth, they only multiply your debts. Today, we are finally breaking this cycle. The average family today has more debt than real savings. People live paycheck to paycheck, even though they earn significantly more than their parents did. They think they're doing everything right, but they're just following a map that is long outdated. Myth number 1. If you don't buy a house, you're throwing money away. We hear this at every holiday from relatives who bought homes decades ago for pennies. Rent is just paying someone else's mortgage, they say. But is that true in our current reality? Here is what banks won't tell you. During the first 15 to 20 years of a mortgage, you are mostly paying interest, not for the house itself. If you look at the payment schedule, almost all your hard work goes into the banker's pockets at the start. Today, homeowners often spend 30 to 40% more per month than renters. When a roof leaks in a rental, it's the owner's problem. In your own home, it's a huge hit to your wallet. Renting gives you mobility and free capital for investments. I'm not saying owning a home is always bad. In some cities, it makes sense, but the idea that renting is always a loss is simply wrong. It's often smarter to rent a comfortable place and put the saved money to work in the market. Myth number 2. To get rich, you must track every bus ride and every cup of coffee. You download apps and keep spreadsheets, but quit after 2 weeks because life is too short. You feel guilty even though the problem is something else entirely. Successful people don't waste time counting pennies. They focus on big expenses and set up automated systems. Instead of fighting themselves every day, they create a mechanism once that distributes money to their accounts automatically. Instead of torturing yourself over an extra cup of coffee, focus on 3 things: housing, transport, and taxes. These make up 70% of your expenses. If you get these right, you'll never have to count the price of a lunch again. Myth number 3. A new car is a sign of success. In reality, it's the fastest way to burn cash. The moment you drive off the lot, you lose about 10% of the value. In the first few years, the car depreciates by 40%. Let's do the math. A new $40,000 car will be worth $20,000 in 5 years. If you invested that same money at 8%, you'd have nearly $60,000. That $40,000 difference is the price of a status no one else notices. The world's wealthiest people often drive reliable used cars. They buy 3-year-old vehicles where someone else has already paid for the initial depreciation. A car should get you from point A to point B, not into a 7-year debt hole. Myth number 4. Credit cards are evil and should be avoided. This is only true if you don't know how to use them. For a financially literate person, a credit card is a free tool that earns money where others lose it. Banks give you bonuses, cashback, and purchase protection, hoping you'll miss a payment. But if you set up autopay and always clear your balance on time, you use the bank's money for free and get rewards for it. In the modern world, your credit score is your financial passport. Without it, you'll pay the highest interest rates on mortgages or business loans. Using cards wisely builds your reputation, saving you hundreds of thousands in the future. Myth number 5. Investing is too complicated and only for people in suits on Wall Street. They tell you that you must constantly watch the news and charts to avoid losing everything. That's a lie designed to sell you expensive management fees. In fact, the best strategy for 99% of people is index funds. This is when you buy a tiny piece of all the world's biggest companies at once. You don't need to pick a winner, you just grow with the global economy. The biggest mistake in investing is waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment was 10 years ago. The next best is today. Even a small amount invested now will turn into capital while you sleep, thanks to compound interest. Most people think they need a professional to buy and sell stocks for them every day. But statistics show that 90% of professional managers lose to a simple index fund over 10 years. You pay them to give you worse results. A 1% fee seems like a small thing, right? But over 30 years, that 1% will take almost a third of your total capital. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars you simply hand over to the bank for advice. Myth number 6 is one of the most dangerous. Just follow your passion and the money will follow. It sounds nice on Instagram, but in the real world, money goes where you create value for others. Competence pays the bills. It actually works the other way around. First, you become the best at what the market needs. You earn capital, create a system, and then that capital gives you the freedom to pursue whatever you want. Money buys you time. Myth number 7. You're told that finance is higher math that can't be understood without a degree. This is intentional. The more complex it seems, the easier it is to sell you unnecessary services. The basics of wealth haven't changed in a century. It all comes down to 3 simple steps. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference automatically. Focus on increasing your main income. That's it. Everything else is just noise designed to distract you from these truths. We buy things we don't need, with money we don't have, to impress people we don't even like. That's the status trap. In 2026, real status is the number in your investment account that gives you the right to say no to anyone. You don't need to change everything in one day. Cancel one unnecessary subscription. Review your phone plan. Set up a $50 auto transfer to a fund. These small steps start an unstoppable avalanche of success. The best asset you have is yourself. Books, courses, and new skills are things no one can take away from you, even during a crisis. Every dollar invested in your brain brings thousands of % in future profit. Many are afraid to start because they fear making a mistake, but the biggest mistake is doing nothing. The market will always fluctuate, and news will always be scary. But those who stay in the game and act systematically always win. When the market falls and everyone panics, that is your time to shine. Wealth is created during downturns and realized during growth. While others pull money out of fear, you buy the world's best assets at a discount. Set up your bank account so that on payday, the money automatically moves to your goals. 10% for investment, 10% for a safety net. If you don't see this money on your main card, you won't spend it on impulse. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If your friends only discuss new sneakers or loans, it will be hard to break out. Seek those who are already where you want to be. Change the conversation. Remember, money itself won't make you happy, but it will give you the freedom of choice. The freedom to work where you like, live where you want, and help those you care about. Money is just fuel for your life. The ability to wait is the main superpower of the wealthy. The poor buy liabilities immediately to appear successful. The rich buy assets that later pay for their luxury lifestyle. Choose the future over a moment of weakness. Here is your plan for tomorrow. Check your big expenses. Are you paying too much for your car or home? Open your first investment account, even if you only have $100. Just take that first step today. In 2026, information is the new oil, but only the information that you actually apply. Don't be a collector of knowledge. Be a practitioner. The world doesn't pay you for what you know. It pays for what you do. Stop blaming the government, the economy, or your parents. As soon as you take 100% responsibility for your bank account, you gain the power to change it. You are the captain of your financial ship. These 7 myths no longer have power over you. You know the truth and the rules of the game. Now, the only difference between you today and a wealthy you in 10 years is the action you take right now. Don't wait. Thank you for taking this journey with me. Your financial trip is just beginning. Like this video if it was helpful, and share it with someone you wish wealth to. See you in the next episodes where we go even deeper. Your time is now.